with you most of the time. I may end up changing screens at some point down the road. And then at the end of the lesson, I'm going to send you a copy of the lesson notes as a PDF. And then we're also recording the screen as well as our voices, and you can listen to that later to review. Now, is the goal to get through all 3 pages of this homework assignment, or is there?
Yeah, so I gotta get through all 3 pages due tomorrow.
Okay. What I would like to do is start with exponent form. Is that okay with you before we go to long division? Okay, because you may already have this one figured out here. I am slightly frustrated that my thing isn't accessing. All right, give me just one moment here to load these up. All right, there it goes. Okay, so if you're looking at page 2, the first problem you see, it is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Hopefully you see that. Okay, and this equals what's called a base and an exponent.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Yeah,
that?
we've been studying these for a while.
Okay,
This
so
is a review from last year, but I wasn't there last year, so.
no problem here. So the base is always whatever number you see here. And the exponent is the number of numbers, so to speak. So you just count them. Like here, there's 4.
Yeah.
So the exponent's 4 and the base is 2 because of that. So I chose this one because I think it will go relatively quickly for us to.
Yeah, I solved that one and the number 2. Those 2.
Okay. What did you write for number 2?
For number 2, 2, like a larger 2 and then a small. So the base is a 2, the exponent is a 4.
Okay, I agree that the exponent is a 4. The base is the literal number. And when I say literal, it means it's that number there, 5 to the power of 4.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Okay, you said the number 2, so maybe I misunderstood what you meant by that, but okay. So let's take a look at number 3. Again, you can see how this goes. So how many numbers are there? There's 2 of them,
2,
and it's 15 to the power of 2, and so on. So you're really just counting. There's nothing I sort of mathy about this. You're just literally counting here. So go ahead and try the next one here, please, for me. Do you have a final answer for me on this one?
Yeah. For which the 7
For number
times
4.
7 times
Yeah,
7. Okay. Yep. 7 to the power of 5.
That's correct. You actually said it really well. That was the next thing I was going to tell you is see if we had to clean this up, but it's 7 to the power of 5. So you've got that down. Perfect. Okay. So let's do a couple more here. So I don't know. Let's jump down to 11.
Okay.
11's the first one that maybe could be perceived as being different.
Yeah, decimals.
It's actually not any different though. You do the same thing. You count the number of numbers. So there's 5 of them. That's your exponent, and your base is 1.6 to the power of 5. So it's really no different. Just literally counting and then rewriting the base. The base is always the number that you're seeing. Okay, so why don't you try number 12 here on your own, please.
Number 12. Okay. All right.
What is your answer here for me on this
So
one?
I got 0.5 to the power of 3.
Yeah, 0.5 to the power of 3. Perfect. Now it could also be written this way. I'll just show you this. 1/2 to the power of 3. Why does that work? Or do you see why that?
0.5 is a half.
Yes.
And then turn that into a decimal or turn that into a fraction, and it would be 1/2 in fractions, and then you'd put a 3 like you would on the point or 0.5, 0.5, 0.5.
Yes. Perfect. Why don't you look at that sheet there, the rest of that sheet? Is there any other problems you would like us to go through? Because I'm going to say
No.
you probably know how to do all of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Excellent. All right. So let's go to the absolute value distance page. We'll look at that one next here. Let me know when you have that one out, please.
Yeah, I have it out. All right, I have it out.
Okay. So it's just a simple, and I don't know why these vertical lines are here, but this is -8. Okay. And someone long ago decided that negative numbers are left
Yeah.
and positive numbers are right. Now, do you play any sports by chance?
Do I play any sports? No, I don't.
You don't play any sports. Do you watch any sports?
Nope.
Nope.
I
Okay.
watch the Olympics, but kind of it.
That's okay. That's okay. You probably have been in a car. We drive on the right side of the road. Okay.
Yeah.
Someone just decided that. We
Unless you're in
follow it.
Australia.
Unless you're in Australia. Okay. Here, even in Australia, negative numbers are to the left, positive numbers to the right. But this is just a convention that we use. It's just like we have to accept this. Okay. So what they're trying to show you here is you start at 0 and you go left because it's -8. And that's all there is to it. Okay, so number 2, when we look at number 2 here, okay, it's +4. Now, for whatever reason, you don't write the positive symbol. Like that's just, nobody does that. You don't necessarily, you can if you would like, it's not wrong, but it's like we only show when it's negative. So when it's positive like this, you know that it's positive. You don't even have to write it, but that's just the way it is. So you start at 0 and you go right 4, and they want you to draw a little arrow, it looks like.
Yeah.
So there it is. Okay. And that's it on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to try either 3 or 4, your pick. I want you to pick 3 or 4, and you just tell me which one you're going to do.
Did both.
I'm sorry?
I just did both just now.
Did both. Okay. Well, I'm gonna just I'm gonna snip these in, and you're gonna tell me if yours is different than mine. There's -4. There's -7. Are yours the same or similar?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Okay.
They're the exact same.
Number 5 is 6.5. So this one is slightly different. It's a
6.5.
6.5. And you said it perfectly. It's somewhere between 6 and 7. In fact, it's halfway.
In the middle. Yeah.
Right in the middle. Now, here's a side point here. Sometimes instructors are really particular about where you put that arrow, whether you use a ruler or not. So check with your instructor. Like if you see them using a ruler a lot, either on the board or on their. Okay. It just gives you a feel for what they value, what they think is important in the classroom. All right. So number 6, maybe you've already got that one done, but try that one next.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so again, just somewhere in between -5 and 6. There it is. Perfect. Now the next couple of problems here, they demonstrate that you can increment by more than just 1. You can actually increment by less than 1 too, but let me snip these in and you'll see what I mean. You can increment by 5s. You can increment by 10s. These don't, but it's totally up to you. So just be careful of that, when you're doing this on a test.
Yeah.
All right, no big deal here. Is this like review from last year, or is this
Well, this is what this is the division is review from last year. This is new, but they're starting it pretty easy, but it's gonna get harder pretty soon.
Okay. Okay. Got it. All right. So here's let's go to that division sheet. And what I'm going to do with you, if we continue working together, is I'm not necessarily going to do all the problems in order. I'm going to do them in an order that makes sense for learning. So this one is probably the easiest of the three, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, could you tell me how to work through this problem, since you said it's a review? Maybe you already know. I'd like to give you a chance to talk me through.
I wasn't in that school last year, but my school, we did it last year.
Okay. So give it a try though.
Okay. So
So August, just to be clear here, I'm asking you to kind of tell me what to do first to work through this.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not trying to get you like present in front of the class. It's just me, just tell me like what.
Oh, okay. So first you'll say, how many times can 4 go into 7?
Okay, it goes in one time.
It can go in one time, so I'd put the 1 on top. And then I'd
Got
put
it.
4 times 1.
1 times 4,
below,
right?
Yeah, 1 times
Okay.
4.
Good.
And then I'd put that below the 7, and then I'd subtract, and then the answer would be 3. And then I'd bring down that 7, and it would be, how many times can 4 go into 37?
Okay, how many times is that?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
I see. Good. Okay. So do you have a multiplication table? Are you do you visualize these? Like, do you already sort of see them?
Well, we did these, like, I know all the division, like how you do it by heart, like the single digit division.
Yes.
And
so I'm trying to help you out here. What is the correct answer? How many times does 4 go into 37?
37, the closest you can get is 4 times 9, which is 36.
So you correctly said that it's the one less than 37. Good. And then 9 times 4 is 36. Subtract.
Yeah, and that's
bring
1. Bring down 7. That's 17. 4 can go into 17. Closest you can get to that is 16, which is 4 times 4. And then you would have a remainder of 1.
Yes. So there's a bunch of different ways that instructors like to see this. I don't just go with whatever they want. But it's 194 with a remainder of 1 for the
this is what we do.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so let me grab question number 2. And again, I'm going to send you a PDF copy of the notes at the end of the lesson. I send that by email. Your mom will get that. She can send it to you. Okay, so this one's a little bit different now. It's a 2-digit number, and well, 15 doesn't go into 7. So do you recall what to do from last year for this?
This is the single digit I know by heart. It's a double, but I know if 15 can't go into 7, you're gonna have to add it. So how many times can 15 go into 70?
That's right. And so that's where it's a little bit tougher. So do you know any of your 15 multiplication tables?
No.
Okay. So
I know
if you don't know them, this is where you either write them out.
Yeah, 15 times 2 is 30.
Which isn't very fast, but it does work. Okay. And then I'll show you another technique here shortly.
Yeah.
Okay. So what
you get is 15 times 4 equals 60.
So where does the 4 go? Does it go above the 7 or above the 0?
Above the 0.
Perfect. Okay. 4, 60, you subtract. Okay. Now this is where again, there's kind of a few other variations. You bring down at least 1 digit, but sometimes you got to bring down more. Because 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. Because 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to go into 104. 15 doesn't go into 10, but it is going to So we got to keep going on our list here. 15 times 6 is 90. If you can't tell, I'm adding 15 by each side, each time. There's also a pattern where the number either ends in 5 or it ends in 0. You can see that. So you look for those
Like the
patterns.
5 timetables. So closest you
Yes.
can get 15 times 6, which is 90. So you put the 9, or yeah, you put the 6 up there, and you put the 9 down there, subtract, and then that would be 14.
Okay.
And then you'd bring down a 5. How many times can 15 go into 105? We'd have to continue doing the multiplications chart. And then closest you could get is 15 times 9, 135.
Yeah, because it gets too big there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So so we put a 9 here, 135, and remainder of 10 is your final answer. All right, now we have not done this on the previous problem, but it does say to check by inverse or partial quotient.
Hmm.
Do you have any idea what that?
Yeah, we're supposed to do that. I don't find it helpful, but we're supposed to do that. So I guess
Well, are we supposed to do it or not?
yeah, we're supposed to, but I don't find it
Okay.
useful.
Well, let's go back to the previous primary because this one will be a little bit easier to
Yeah.
to do. So I don't really know exactly what they, to me, you take this number 4, you multiply by 194 and you add the remainder. Is that what they mean by this?
Well, yeah, so you take can't remember if I kept that. I do math, like a math thing every morning. Yeah, so for this, you take the answer, multiply it by the divisor.
That's 4. So you take
Yeah.
194
And then divide, or and then times 4, multiply it by 4,
and then you add the 1 to it.
answer, see if that matches, depending on if you have a remainder, or well, then you'd add the remainder and then see if it matches.
That's right. So is this something you're comfortable doing here? This 194 times 4?
I could try it.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so 4 times 4 is 12.
No, try that again.
16.
Yes.
4 times 4 is 16. You put 6, carry the 1. 4 times 9 is 36.
So you add the 1.
So you add the 1, that'd be a 37. You'd carry the 3. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7.
Good. So you add the 1 because that's your remainder.
Yeah.
And you get 777. And yes, it
Then
works.
that's correct. Yeah, then that answer is right.
Okay, so same thing here. And I kind of agree with your assessment. You know, this is why it's not particularly useful. It's almost like it's more work to do this.
It is.
But it is common in math to actually have to check your answer. So this is maybe trending that direction. So 5 times 9 is 45. So you put a 5 there, 4 there. 5 times 6 is 30, add 4, 34. 5 times 4 is 20, plus the 3, 23. Okay, and then with 2-digit, you have to put a 0 here, or you leave it blank, depends on how you were taught. Whenever you multiply by 1, you just rewrite the number.
Yeah.
Then you got to add. Sometimes you get carries. Okay, and then you have to add your remainder. And that works out as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's get that last problem done. I've got a lot of positive feedback for your mom tonight. Where is it? There it is. Okay, the last one, which, you know, oddly, it's probably the most difficult, but it's first on this worksheet. But it'll give us a chance to actually talk through something else. So this one is not written in the form that the previous one was. written or previous couple written in.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
Whenever
talk
that
about,
happens, I usually just write it out as the previous ones.
yeah, you definitely have to make sure you leave enough room up here. That's the common thing that students don't do. And then sometimes there's some confusion about which number goes in the house, outside the house. Not sure if that's the language you're
Well,
using.
for me, I always think of it as, so usually it's the smaller number will go outside the house, usually.
Okay.
That's how I think about it. Like the math that I'm doing now is the smaller number goes outside the house.
So that generally works right now, but will not work in the future.
Yeah.
All right.
And also
So
on those problems, the one that comes, so the first one goes in the house. The second one goes outside the house.
yes, and that's the more general rule.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you look at this problem here, 58 does not go into 1 and it does not go into 13, but it does go into 139. And this is where you sometimes want to make a guess. Like
Yeah.
even
Estimate.
if you're wrong, you want to make a guess. Now I'm going to guess 3. Okay. And this is where you may even have to come off to the side to write it, but 58 times 3 is 3 times 50. That's 150. 3 times 8, that's 24. 150 plus 24 is 174, which is too large. So we go back 1. We say, okay, well, let's go back. 2 times 50 is 100. 2 times 8 is 16. That's 116. We've if we look at 139, 139 is right in the middle. So we know that we've created a boundary around it. So the answer is 2, and it goes above the 9 this time because we did this. And if you need to, if you like highlighters, if you need to box it in, I think that's all good stuff to do. Sometimes you got to kind of, realize, okay, I'm just working with those 3 numbers there. What some students do is they even put zeros up top here. I don't necessarily like that, but there's lots of ways to do things. So 116 subtract, you end up getting 23, and then you bring down the 2. And 232 is bigger than 174. So you know it's at least 3, but it might be 4. So let's go 4. So 4 times 50 is 200. 4 times 8 is 32. 200 plus 32 is 232. Wow, worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
Maybe, and that may be why it was first. So this is one of those where it's like when you check it, I mean, you're almost introducing as much work as the original problem. You have to multiply 58 times 24. So go ahead and try that. See if you can come up with the right answer. It should be 1392 when you're all done, of course.
Yeah. Let's try. Okay, so 4 times 8. 4 times 8 would be 32. So
Right.
2 carry the 3. 4 times 5 would be 20 plus 3 is 23. Okay. And now 2 times 8, 16. Put the 6, carry the 1. 2 times 5, 10 plus 1, 11. Add is 2, 9, 3, 1.
And it works.
Yeah.
All right. Great job, August. Is your mom available? We can chat
she's
through
right
here.
here.
We can chat through here. Yeah, let me actually just do one thing here.